Okay, so this is awesome. I did a whole lesson. Well, not a whole, well, yeah, I did a bunch of a lesson without sharing my screen, so I have to redo it. Yeah, I love that. So here we go again. I'm doing it all again. Here's the notes, special angles, and the unit circle. There are three groups of special angles, 90 degrees, 45s, and 30, 60s. Lots of this is not going to make sense until you actually see it, and that's fine. Each group has special properties and attributes. We can commit them to memory or my preference, understand the thing and apply it. All you would need to remember, being honest here, is 1/2, root 2 over 2, and root 3 over 2. I'll explain that in a second. You just have to remember those things. You don't need a calculator. This gives you exact values for a unit circle and these angles. So here's a unit circle. I love that I'm repeating all of this again, back to back. First thing I'll say, ignore the radians, which is the pi over 6, pi over 4, pi over 3, blah, blah, blah. Ignore those. That's grade 12. We'll get to it then. But right now, this is a circle. So this is 0 degrees. This is a 30-degree angle, 45 degrees, 60, 90, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so this is 90 degrees, 180, 270 degrees, 360, as well as 0, 0, 360 degrees. Sorry, hang on. Oh, okay. So anyways, now when I said, like, you just need to remember these three things: 1/2, root 2 over 2, root 3 over 2, and then you can create this unit circle. It's a unit circle, as I kind of mentioned before in previous days, which means the radius is 1. If you notice right here at 90 degrees, that dot right there on the circle, the coordinates of that dot are 0 and 1. X is 0 because we started at the origin. X is 0. You go up 1. Y is 1. That's that dot. Over here, it's 1 and 0. X is 1, and it doesn't go up at all. Y is 0. Over here, X is -1. Y is 0. Over here, X is 0. Y is -1. It's hard to tell when if I'm going too fast, if nobody's here. So let's look at our 30-degree angle. The 30-degree angle, the hypotenuse is 1. That's the R value, the radius. R equals 1. So this point here, I know it doesn't line up perfectly, don't worry about it, but this point right here is where a 30-degree angle, where the hypotenuse goes from the origin to the edge of the circle. The coordinates of that point are root 3 over 2 and 1/2. Root 3 over 2 is the X value. Okay, X is root 3 over 2. Y is 1/2. The radius is 1. X is root 3 over 2. Y is 1/2. That's what it is right here. For the 45-degree angle, this is the middle dot that you're going to remember. 45 degrees, the Y and the X are the same. They are both root 2 over 2. X is root 2 over 2. Y is root 2 over 2. I hope you can see that I'm moving this cursor around. If you can't, then it's a little bit lost. For the 60-degree angle, the short side is 1/2. The long side is root 3 over 2. Okay, 60 and 30, they're just different orientations. Over here, 30-degree angle, root 3 over 2 and 1/2. 60-degree angle, 1/2, root 3 over 2. 1/2 is the X value. Root 3 over 2 is the Y value. The X value is 0, Y value is 1 for 90 degrees. Now, the flip side over here, like there's lots of kind of flip sides. This is a 120-degree angle, but the reference angle is 60 degrees. So X, short side is 1/2, -1/2 because it's in this quadrant, long side root 3 over 2. Exact same as over here, except -X because it's on this side. Down here, that same angle, it's 225 degrees now, but the reference is 60. -1/2, negative root 3 over 2. Sorry, not 225, this one's 240. 240 degrees, reference angle is 60. It's -1/2, so the X value is -1/2, the Y value, negative root 3 over 2. Tomorrow, I want you guys I don't even remember what I said before, and I want to make sure I'm saying it all again. Tomorrow, we're going to work on filling this thing out by memory. Okay. That's why I gave you all these blank copies of this. Each of you got 4 of these. The first side, what I want you to do is fill it out based on this. Don't worry about radians. Fill out everything else. The other 3 are for you to practice because you're going to commit this to memory, to kind of a working memory. But we'll worry about kind of doing that memorization part tomorrow. All you got to remember is this: 1/2 root 2 over 2 root 3 over 2. Today, fill this out on a test. You get this as a reference, but it's blank. So you will need to be able to fill it out. What I've done in the past is I've done quizzes where the quiz is literally just the unit circle. Just fill this out. Because of time frames and stuff this year, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you a blank one. I'm going to include it as part of your test. So you have a blank one to write in your references for when you're answering all the questions, but you're also going to be marked on this. Evaluated is the better word. Well, this is making sense. I don't know what I'm repeating properly or not at this point. So use this master to fill out this, and you're going to use this to answer questions. You don't have to do the assignment today. You can if you want. I'll give you class time tomorrow because I'm really going to hammer how to fill this out tomorrow by memory. But I think what we'll do now is we'll go through some examples. So starting on page 112. I hope it'll still screen share when I do this. Oh, it's paused. Bring your shared window to the front. How do I do that? New share. All right, this is what I want. All right, so I'm not going to be able to flip back and forth as well as I'd like to, but we'll see what we can do. So here's the example. It says find the exact values of the following using the diagram above. So sine of 90. Sine, remember, is the y value. At 90 degrees, the y value is 1. X is 0, y is 1. The way they break it down here, sine is y over r is 1 because it's a unit circle, y is 1. 1 over 1 equals 1. You will be able to use a unit circle when you're doing this, but it's a unit circle, on a test, it's a unit circle of your creation. In this moment, you can use what I gave you on the slide there, and also there's lots of examples in the textbook. I want you to write it down though on a unit circle, like I want you to copy it on your own and then use that. Cos of 180, so 180 degrees is over here, right? 90, 180, 270, 360. At 180 degrees, cos is x, cos is -1. The examples are kind of broken down a little bit more. Tan of 270, tan is y over x. Y over x, -1 over 0, it's undefined. It's undefined. Anything over 0 is undefined. If the calculator we used, it would show an error message. My calculator, I'm not going to mirror anything right now because it'll be a pain. Yeah, mine says math error, like it's written out, math error, and errors in capital letters. Sine of 360, what is the y value at 360? X is 1, y is 0. 0 over 1, because the radius is 1, 0 over 1 still equals 0. Okay, 0 over 1 equals 0. Anything over 0 is undefined, including 0 over 0. I said I was going to go through this with you, and then I haven't assigned anything. If I'm doing all the examples with you, what is there for you to do? Tell you what, yeah, I'm going to do the examples, change my mind. I am going to assign this. You will have time tomorrow, but I will take a fair amount of time talking about the unit circle. So anyways, I'll keep going through these examples. All right, now with the 45 degrees, oh, I don't know if you guys can hear my son talking in the other room. I'm going to close a door here. Hang on. Okay, they're doing it a little bit harder. They're not showing a unit circle of 1, a unit circle. They're showing the radius is √2. but it works out the same. So maybe don't worry about how they do it. I'm going to tell you how I do it. Maybe I'll write these down quick. Hang on. So it's sine of 225, cos of 135, tan of 315, tan of 315, cos of 45. It's the easiest one. Okay, so those are the examples. We're going to do these, but I want you to look at the unit circle while we do it. Oh, it says I'm still screen sharing, but I'm going to make sure it is on this. Yeah, weird. So the first one is sine of 225. So at 225 degrees, once 150, 180, 210, 225 degrees. That's this blue kind of middle one. The sine value, negative root 2 over 2. It's the x is also negative root 2 over 2. That's what's beautiful about these 45-degree angles. X and y is the same. Next example, cos of 135. Here's 135 right here, 135. The cos value, the x value, negative root 2 over 2. The default is root 2 over 2, but in this, on this side of the circle, cos is negative. Okay, so at 135, it's negative root 2 over 2. At 225, it's negative root 2 over 2. Both have a 45-degree reference angle. Tan of 315, 315 degrees. It's y over x. Now notice here, again, it's root 2 over 2 and negative root 2 over 2. X is positive on this side of the circle. Y is negative on the bottom half of the circle. Y over x, it's going to be negative 1. Okay, it's the same thing divided by itself with one negative in there. So it's negative 1. That's for tan. And then cos of 45, it's the easiest one left for the last, root 2 over 2. That's the x value of 45 degrees on the unit circle. What's the next? It says still screen sharing. The third family, so this is 60-30 triangles. So it's sine of 150. I'm going to write these down too. Sine of 150, cos of 240, tan of 300. You can always pause the video and see if you have a good handle on it. Try it yourself. Sine of 150 degrees. Where's 150 degrees? Right here. So remember, you're going to have this as a reference, provided you can create it, because you're getting a blank one of these. So use this, get comfortable with it. Start kind of pseudo memorizing it a little bit if you want, but I'll show you the tricks tomorrow. Anyways, where am I at? Sine of 150. So here's 150 degrees. So what is the y value? Because it's the sine. The x is negative root 3 over 2. The y is 1/2. Like I'm saying, all I want you to do is just be able to read it off of here right now. Y, negative root 3 over, sorry, the x negative root 3 over 2, the y is 1/2. At 150 degrees, unit circle, the y value is 1/2. Cos of 240, here's 240 degrees right here. That the cos is the x, it's the short side, it's going to be 1/2, and because it's on this half of the unit circle, it's negative. So the cos is negative 1/2. Cos is x, sine is y. Tan of 300, here's 300 degrees right here. Tan is y over x. Negative root 3 over 2 divided by 1/2. So you flip this and multiply, it's going to be negative root 3. That's kind of all I got for you. I hope that makes sense. Let me just look at the examples again. I want to make sure that you can see this. Oh, yeah. So there's 2 more examples right here. Find exact values of theta if theta is between 0 and 360 and cos of theta is negative. So there's 2 possible answers. Okay, negative root 3 over 2, that means it's the long side. It's the long side. Again, you can just look at the unit circle and find the information, but there's 2 possible answers. Quadrants 2 and 3, I like how it says quads. 2 and 3 are where cos is negative. 150 degrees and 210 degrees. 150 degrees, negative root 3 over 2, 210 degrees, negative root 3 over 2, and so on. Maybe start these. Again, I'll give you time tomorrow if you want, but I am going to hammer the unit circle tomorrow. We're going to focus on kind of remembering the unit circle tomorrow. So if you get this done now, it'll be less for you to do over the break. Okay, I'm done. How do I get out of here? Stop sharing. End.